Welcome, everyone. It is 4 o'clock, and we are getting ready to start the Main Street Board meeting today, Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. I am glad to see all of you here for the brand new year. Thank you for coming. And so what we'll do is we will first do a roll call just to establish our quorum and introduce everyone here today. So we'll just start on this end.
Present. Jennifer Hudson Connors, present.
Denise Scott, present.
Carla Bradshaw, present.
Christy Anderson, present.
Brandon Davidson, present.
We have a quorum.
Very good. All right. Now, do I have any public comments that need to be made at this time?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right, so we're going to move on to consent items. It is our minutes from the November meeting. All of you should have received the minutes from November. Are there any questions or corrections to the minutes from November 2025? Yes. Excellent.
She's listed as Carl and not Carol. I don't know if that needs to make a change.
Well, yes, that would
Yes.
Yeah.
That is actually our board member emeritus. He is an advisor as he cycled off this last year. So, yes, that was an error.
Okay. Any other corrections or discussions for the minutes? All right, do I have a motion to accept the minutes with the corrections, with the name?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes with the one correction of adding, or changing C-A-R-L to Carol as presented, with that one correction.
All right, all in favor of,
Ma'am?
yes.
Can I get a second, please?
Oh,
Amos
she did right
I got a
here.
second.
Christy got a second, all right. Since we have a second, all in favor for passing the minutes from November 2025? Aye. Any opposed? Right. If there's no other discussion, then the meetings have passed, or the minutes from the meeting of November 25 have passed. Whew, having trouble talking. So I'm going, because of that, I am going to pass the microphone back to Carol, and we are going to, she'll present us with her director's report.
Hello, and thank you all for being here. This is very exciting to have our full board here. Manuel Pasillas is not with us today, and it's because his second at the library has resigned and has moved on, and so he's down there by himself, and he can't close the library today. So I will catch him up. I'll go down there and meet with him and catch him up, just so you know. Okay, so my director's report for January of 26. For January, February events, as you can see, we've got the Chamber of Commerce banquet, their awards banquet, this month on the 29th, correct? And that will be at our Civic Center. So we're very excited as a city to host the Chamber of Commerce, the Winnsboro Area Chamber of Commerce Awards Dinner at our Civic Center. The most exciting thing that I'm just kind of standing here vibrating a little bit about is a concert that we are going to be holding. It's something a little different than has ever happened in Winnsboro, to my knowledge. We have named it Winnsboro Live. It is a concert series that will occur. There will be 2 large shows this year, and there will be 3 large shows planned for next year. So we are naming it Winnsboro Live, and then you see on your director's report that I have Winnsboro Live Country Night. And what that is we've got 2 country performers coming, and I am so excited I can just barely stand it, y'all. We have got a young lady, her name is Kiera. Her stage name is Queen Kiwi. Her husband, she and her husband own Okie Dokie Karaoke that performs at Taco Dive on Thursdays. It is the marketing gold. I absolutely love the name of their karaoke company. But Kira, her voice is amazing. She is going to be our opener for our concert on February 20th. She will sing from 8 to 9. And then the Dexter Rowe Band, who they are actually Nashville recorded artists. This is a big time band. They've opened for Sawyer Brown. It is a significant talent for us to bring to Winnsboro, and I am incredibly excited about it. They will perform that night from 9 to 11. 5C Custom Creation, who also do business as the 5C Custom Beer and Wine Garden, is that correct? 5C, thank you. We have the owner here. 5C Beer and Wine Garden on Main Street has partnered with the city and will be selling beer and wine at the event in the back. The Chamber of Commerce will be selling soft drinks and water for us at the back, so you won't have to deal with the additional. So that is very exciting. I feel like this is something that Winnsboro is just a natural fit for. With our art and music history here, for us to bring in additional concert performers, I feel like this is a great opportunity for us to really work on quality of life for people regionally. And I feel like this concert's going to pull because Dexter Rowe is originally from Texarkana. He has spent some time in Nashville. He's been on tour. He is a fiddle player and a guitar player. He's got 3 pieces behind him. He is really looking forward to this concert. He and I have been in communication, and he is really looking forward to it. Tickets for this concert are going to be $25 if you buy them online. If you buy them at the door, we will have 50 tickets. If they don't sell out, I plan to have 50 tickets at the door available for $30 a piece. We are also selling 14 tables that will seat 6 for $250. In that $250, you get a table for 6, you get a drink ticket, you get a small swag bag with some city swag in it, and you also get VIP parking. And so you'll be able to park up against the Civic Center. And I just think that this is going to be a seamless event for us and a really good way for us to get the year rolling in an otherwise economically slow time for many of our merchants. This first quarter can be a little tough. So we're wanting to bring people into town that will shop and eat and interact with our merchants downtown as well as our merchants on that 515 business corridor. And we have the opportunity to really kind of show that Winnsboro is a place you can bring in big talent. So
Come back another time.
yes, absolutely. Now, in saying that this is a concert series, we will be planning another concert in Q3 or Q4. So I'm thinking late Q3, September-ish, or depending on, I've got to have a couple of different meetings with a couple of different organizations to see if we would be a good fit to plug a concert into their event. So more to come on the later concerts, but this one's going to be amazing. Our advertising relationship continues with County Line Magazine and with the Winnsboro Online Guide. You've got the metrics there from their EMAG hits, about 15,000 on their EMAG and 9,000 on their Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook together collect about 50,000. So they've got a decent footprint for us. County Line Magazine will be retiring in May. So we're going to need to have some conversations about where do we go now. And there may be other opportunities for us regionally, but if y'all would be looking into that, that would be incredibly helpful. We did have our Bloom event published in the most recent publication of Texas Highways. There was an error in some of the verbiage. I reached out on Tuesday, is that right? Tuesday? And by Wednesday, they had that corrected for us. And we happened to beat the timeline of print.
Good.
So in print, it will be correct. As far as our Facebook data, we have had another good 90 days. Now, mind you, you have to keep in mind, we are coming off of, and we're comparing to, all of the social media activity we had with Cowboy Weekend and Autumn Trails. That is no longer included in our 90 days. So now we're looking at things that have happened since then. So the increases aren't as dramatic, but I think if you listen to the numbers, those are dramatic. We had a 75% increase in our views, which brought us to 760,000 views in a 90-day period. Y'all, for a town of 3,400, not bad. Interactions are up 95%. People are really starting to interact with our page. And we had about 69,400 interactions in the last 90 days. Our net followers is up 10%. We're sitting about 5.5 thousand followers at this point. Yeah, it is. When I took it, I believe there were 1,200 last April. So in a little less than a year, we've been able to grow it significantly. And frankly, I lay all of that at y'all's feet because you've been out there talking about us. The community knows about us. They know that they've kind of got a source of truth when they come to our page about what's coming. And I think they're getting very comfortable with that. And so if we can create that routine, it's going to be a great thing. Our largest demographic, interestingly enough, it continues to be 35 to 44-year-olds, shifting from 65 plus. So it was an interesting thing. We were doing 45 to 60 consistently, 45 to 60-year-olds. Then we hit Autumn Trails, and it went 65 plus. It's the people that remember when it started, is what I'm thinking. And then with the reading around the Christmas tree and the Christmas tree lighting and the parade and all that, it shifted back to a younger demographic. So we're really able to kind of watch it change as our content changes. So that tells us about audiences that we may need to reach. Priorities for the upcoming quarter, y'all, I'm sure have seen and know that we've got the new banner flags downtown. And we've had some challenges with those because there was some adjustment to the bottom bar that those hang on for the previous flags because they didn't fit. So they had to kind of bend it up a little bit. And when I ordered the ones that were the right size, all of a sudden it's kind of sloppy, right? So I've talked with the Director of Public Works, and he assures me that that is going to be taken care of. I've got 2 of the flags in my office that have come off. And I understand that there are additional flags that have come off. We are also zip tying those. We have the ability to do that to make sure that they stay. So it's a good investment from the city, but we need to make sure that we're taking care of it and it looks as good as it possibly can. The last thing on my report is a concert at the Civic Center with partnerships with the Chamber of Commerce and 5C Custom Creations. I feel like this is going to be just a very natural partnership for us. And that it's going to be a very successful one. And my goal with this concert, just so that y'all know, is selling out. We've got 400 tickets to sell. Selling out. And that money will pay for the whole series. It'll pay for the next performer. Then we'll sell tickets. That'll pay for the next one. Y'all, it's just going to really be a good snowball rolling down a hill, I think. And that way we can bring more things to Winnsboro. I've got a lot of ideas that we'll talk about as the agenda goes forward. But I want you to keep in mind, and please keep it really in the forefront of your mind, that this is the semi-sesquicentennial of our country. It's the 250th anniversary of Independence Day. I need us to really lean into that. And I want downtown red, white, and blue from basically May to August. And I want to have a 1950s themed parade downtown with kids on bicycles and crepe paper and people carrying flags and, you know, make it a community event where everybody can participate. So there's a lot of things that are cooking that I think are really good. So I will leave you with that and turn it back over to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Dow. All right, we're going to move on to our committee reports. And so what we'll do is we'll just go through and then each of you can present your, what you have been up to the past few months. And we'll just start with Organization Committee. Uh-huh.
No change at this time.
Okay, all right, so I look forward to, I'm also joining you. And so you and I can start working on that for 2026. So that's awesome. Excellent. All right, we can move on to the Design Committee.
We were just
Oh, good, I love it.
Okay, so, basically, we got started late, because we came on in November, so we got hit immediately with Christmas, and, we didn't have a lot of time to do planning for 2025, so we are deeply planning for 2026.
Wonderful.
Because we have some really good ideas to, do a more permanent display, hopefully on the corner of, 11 and 37, right there where, that Clark has volunteered his property there, which we haven't had access to previously, and we have, an idea for display there that would be a themed display that would be layered over the course of the fall. So we'd start with the background, and what we're thinking is, basically silhouettes of trees and so forth. We'd start kind of at the beginning of the season in October, maybe mid-October, and then take it on through, autumn trails, and then into November, we'd add, a little bit of, turkey or something like that, and then we take it into Christmas, and we just add layers of silhouettes to that corner.
Lovely.
So anyway, that's our thought. We also have an idea of taking that theme of silhouettes into a more permanent, rendition display at businesses, so that there would be signage that would incorporate kind of our, country themes and Winnsboro artisan theme into that. So we'll get into that more. Let's see, we'll tell you more about that. Also, we want to use the design talent that we have here in town. We have some really talented designers and decorators and so forth. And, I've spoken to them, and they're willing to be sounding boards, and on a case-by-case basis, because I said, look, we don't need you in meetings all the time. We just need your design expertise in terms of scale and presentation to help us kind of vet our ideas and help make sure they're gonna work in the scale that we're talking about. Let's see what else. And in that, we just wanna use, people that wanna participate but don't wanna be on a committee, a formal committee. Wanna put anything?
And then we also talked about doing kind of a master plan of the properties that are there, seeing which properties are being used, which are vacant, which are empty, and kind of coming up with a master plan of the best use for those properties. And then eventually throughout the year, talking to the business owners and the property owners and seeing how we can help them to, get in touch with grants, and how we can help them work with renovations and rehab and things like that.
Excellent, excellent. Very good.
Yes, Ms. Carolyn?
Go, please.
I would just like to say thank you for all of the work that you did around Christmas. Downtown looked beautiful all through the fall, and Christmas was just fabulous, and thank you for all that hard work.
Well, we were really lucky because Carolyn found a box of red bows, and that's all that we used, but, just a little bit of color.
Yes.
Thank you.
Talk to me about your silhouette project. I might have another idea for you.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So, we will leave it at that.
You're on the team.
Woo! All right, next is,
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
So I think, Carol, some of y'all's, you're talking about the grants that are available to the business owners?
No.
What are y'all talking about, I guess?
Well, because Carol and I both own properties downtown, and so I know that there are grants through the Historical Commission, through the state of Texas.
Okay.
We just,
USA, there's
So-
programs available.
I haven't really had time to look into it personally, but we're gonna do research to see what is available, what the requirements are, because I know there's money out there, it's just that
Right.
a regular person doesn't know where to look. So we're gonna do some research into where to look.
Let's get some time on the calendar, because I have a database of grants that are available to Main Street business owners. And there is one that just had the deadline extended to the 26th of this month. It's a $40,000 Amex grant. And just so y'all know, do y'all remember when I first started and I went door to door downtown and I handed out those PowerPoint presentations about the grants and encouraged all of our merchants to fill them out? We had 15 merchants that filled those out. We had one that won.
Oh,
Brenda Buck won $10,000 for her teaching section of her store. That is going to allow her to buy looms and bring in additional instructors. What that also does for her is now she goes into a pool with 400 other award winners for $40,000. And they are going to be giving a number of $40,000 grants. Fingers crossed,
well,
right?
and what's so awesome about that is, sometimes it can be incredibly overwhelming to even start, but if you know somebody in your town, it gives hope to other
That's right.
people that it's possible.
That's right. And we've seen it. We've had the money deposited. So we're very excited. I'm going to be announcing that publicly at the end of the month. I think you just did. Yeah, kind of. I did it on YouTube. But yeah, email will be going out to the merchants. I've been talking to Brenda, and she said if you could take care of notifying Winnsboro at the end of the month. So that's what I'll do. I also wanted to say, just come by and I can provide you all kinds of resources on that sort of thing and, you know, help point you. I had talked to Dawn briefly last night after the city council meeting about our design team taking on these 14 tables that we are going to sell and designing a centerpiece for each of those 14 tables, please. So if you'd put that on your radar. And we're probably going to need just a little something for the 25 bistro, the standing bistro tables. We'll have 25 of those, most likely 25. We'll be talking to Carla more about that in a minute. But just be thinking what we would want that to look like for our first country night.
There's 14 of the larger.
There's 14 large tables, and then there will be 25 of the smaller bistro standing tables. Okay?
Do you know the
Dimensions? We will know that as soon as Carla makes her report.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I just know the dimensions of the bistro tables will be at the back.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're probably looking at 72-inch round, so 6-foot round
Not a
tables.
30-inch.
And that's the perfect size. So Brandon, did you have a question?
Yeah, well, full circle back to the grant thing.
Yes, please.
Is there like a law that requires a match grant for,
It depends on the grant.
well, the one we offer specifically?
The one that we offer as Main Street,
Yeah.
yes, it's a 50-50
There's
match.
no way we could offer one that's just a zero match?
I would love to offer a zero match. The one we have in place currently is a 50-50 match.
Yeah.
If the board would like to take that on and have a different discussion about taking it to a zero match, I would need y'all to do that and then vote on that, and then we'd move it forward with city administrator and council approval.
Well, and my husband and I got a grant from the WEDC
Uh-huh.
when we did the brickwork.
Yes,
It was, I think it was like we paid 50%.
It was a
they paid
50-50.
50%. And
That's
that was really
standard.
helpful. So, but I didn't know about it until somebody just said, oh, by the way, did you know?
right.
So I think that's really important for us to get out there and
Absolutely.
let people know that these things
Yes.
are available.
And really, when you look at grants in the hierarchy of these committees, that really does fall under all 4 pillars. It's organization, because organization brings the businesses together and helps them collaborate and talk to each other. Y'all with design would be talking to them about things they could do for their buildings with these grants. Promotions, it's natural there, right? And so you've got all of the, and economic vitality, that's a no-brainer. I mean, it's money coming in for our merchants to make and produce more, be more economically stable. So really and truly, it falls under all of your umbrellas. So I would highly encourage you, if you're interested in talking to merchants, feel comfortable talking to merchants about that, come see me. I've got a wealth of resources for you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. All right, so we're going to move on to the promotion committee.
I would just say, from promotions, using that social media and getting the word out about all of the things that happened in the last quarter, I think really worked. I think all of those events downtown were successful. Even with the bad weather and switching the reading around the Christmas tree to more of a virtual event, we still got a lot of play. If they couldn't see it live, they were watching it and sharing it throughout the season. So I think that promotion worked really well. And
I lay that accolade at the feet, sorry. I really lay
That accolade at the feet of Randy Vasquez, our assistant police chief. That was, he conceived of that idea. He just handed it to us to put in motion. And what I will say is the community responded very positively. I have had a lot of input about that. And the sweetest thing that I love the most, I think, is that many parents didn't play it live at the time that it was live, and they waited until their kiddos were going to bed and they played it for them then. And so it's just a cool thing. And it really did. We had several families that came down and joined us, you know, at different times. And it was nice, too, to pull in the district attorney, to pull in the chaplain of the police and fire departments, and really let those people be seen that have such an impact in our life. Jennifer was there representing Winnsboro Center of the Arts, for the Arts, sorry. So she was there presenting for them, and it was just a really nice way to get a softer side of our police chief reading to the kids. You know, it was a really good opportunity. And so I say, way to go, Randy. But, yeah, I agree with you. Getting that social media out is huge. That's huge.
And I think with the soon-to-be retiring of the online newspaper and the magazine, we really need to strategize about what we're going to do with that, how we're going to overcome that big chunk of getting the word out. And I think by having so many different people from so many different aspects of the community sharing and promoting it, that's how things work.
Right. And
in
I would
today's
ask
world.
y'all, anytime I put out anything, please turn around and reshare it.
Yep.
Because you're going to have different people in your bubble than I have in the Main Street bubble. I turn around and reshare on my personal page because I'm still connected largely in the Metroplex area. So that goes there. So I do highly recommend, and if you've had a footprint, a presence like in Pittsburgh or Emory or those places, those folks may not have the opportunity to see our content unless you share it. So please, please, please help us get the word out.
The Oakley Mansion is doing a Threads Through Time display, and I've been sharing that with people I thought would be interested, and you never know if
That's
they
right.
actually read your stuff.
How it
But
lands.
I got a text message back today saying, "What was that textile thing you were talking about?" And I thought, nothing. I wasn't talking about. But that Threads Through Time.
Yep.
So I've got a group coming from out of town just to see that exhibit.
That's
So
fantastic.
sharing and promoting
It
all different
lands.
ways lands.
It just does.
Yep. And so Carla's going to give you some information on promotions and planning for the concert that she's been working on.
And the concert, for February 20th, we are gonna make, different areas, like Carolyn talked about. We're gonna have tables at the front that we're gonna sell for $2.50. She told more details about that. And then we talked about behind those tables, possibly making a dance floor and renting a dance floor to put in that area. And I've called 3 places to get some pricing on that. And then back behind that, we're gonna have 20 to 25, we talked about. Looks like we're leaning closer to 25. It doesn't matter if we rent 20 or we rent 1 or we rent 50, the price is still the same. So we're gonna put that back behind so that people can stand. It's kind of a standing, instead of just standing, you can have a table to lean on, have your drinks, cause we're gonna serve beer and wine, or have it for sale. And, so what I did is, I was told to call, or suggested to call A1 Rental in Longview. And, their pricing, and, I looked at 20 to 25, and as I said, it doesn't matter how many you rent, 1 or 100. They're $9 each to rent there. And this does not come with the elastic, drapery, to kind of dress them up a little bit. And the third person that I called suggested, instead of renting those, to get online, I got on Amazon and I just looked up 10 of them are $81. He said they're easy to slip on. He didn't even give me a price for what it costs.
And this is for the table cover?
Yes, they're the table cover because all my quotes that I got are for the same size table, 30 inches in diameter by 42 inches tall. A1 rental in Longview was $9 each to rent, and then at each place I ask about the dance floor. So with A1 rental, I can get from a 24 by 24. This company didn't explain to me, but All American out of Tyler explained to me the wooden floor comes in 4x4 pieces. So if I wanted a 24 by 24, a 20 by 20, or a 16 by 20, A1 rental in Longview, they broke it down, which this includes $200 delivery fee. They'll deliver the tables and the dance floor for $200, or they'll deliver, if we just rent the dance floor, for example, it's $1,520, for 24 by 24, it's $1,502.51, and that includes the $200 delivery.
Did you say that again,
1502, I gave you a copy of it, and I have the prices broke down, but it's $1,502.51 for a 24 by 24. 20 by 20 is $1,109.50, $1,109.50, and a 16 by 16 is $788.06. And in comparison, I'm not real good about visualizing, but Paul, like 16 by 16 is kind of small. 24 by 24 is about the maximum. Well, the second company said they go up to 20 by 24, so that's probably the biggest size we're going to get. They will deliver tables and the dance floor on Friday and pick up on Monday, and that's to tear it down and set it back up. So 4x4 squares are going to set on the floor. No choice of color, no choice. It's a wooden dance floor with A1 rentals. The next company I called was out of Tyler. The same tables, $9 each to rent. The dance floor, they told me no matter what size. With the other company, it was by size. So no matter what size, 24 being the largest, is $750 plus a $650 delivery fee. So that, and there we have a choice of color. We have a white, a dark oak, or black and white check. Because it's an indoor dance floor, we have our choices. If it was outdoor, we would not have a choice. And then the tables. So it's $650 to bring us the tables and the dance floor of our choice.
So that would be 1,400, am I doing the math right?
Yes. And then the last company was out of Greenville. Really nice guy, Tony. He does not have a dance floor available. He only has 2, and they are spoken for. But my thoughts were, he's a lot cheaper, and I don't know if we want to not do it this first one and do it the second one and get on his list, or do it and then I don't know. But he was a 12 by 12, which is really small, is $235, and his maximum is 16 by 16, and it's $305. He would deliver, and also his bistro tables are $850 each, and it's $55 to deliver the tables and the dance floor if we choose. But at this time, we're not able to at our February 20th. But he charges $55 to bring us table and dance floor, or in this case would just be the tables if we just get the tables, and then $55 to come pick it up. So $110. So he's relatively, but the size, we would have to go and look what a 16 by 16 out there with our chair set up for future. So our only 2 options would be the first 2 for the first concert. You're welcome.
All right, any questions? All right, and then the last for Economic Vitality Committee.
Okay, we've had one meeting, the Economic Vitality Committee has had one meeting, it was back in June. We did that little pop-up thrift shop that turned out fantastic, I thought. I really didn't know how it was gonna do, but it did great. And we'll have another meeting sometime in February.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. All right. We're going to move on to the next section. We're going to talk about the facade grant request from 5C Creations.
We have received, during my tenure, our very first facade grant request. It is a facade grant request for an outdoor sign for 5C Custom Creation. I have provided you the application. We've talked about it a little bit. 5C is wanting to put up a sign on the front of their building. And y'all know signage drives business. It just does. This, to me, is one of the best ways we can invest Main Street money in business success. So I have got the owner of 5C here. Monica Kaufman is here with us today. Do y'all have any questions for me, or do you have any questions for her
I think-
regarding this request?
I think if you could just review.
You bet.
What the application is requesting,
Yes.
and then we can have a short discussion, and they can ask any questions.
Absolutely. City of Main Street application for Main Street facade improvement grant. Our improvement grant here is limited to $1,500. It is a 1-to-1 match. So for every $1,500 we grant, the business owner is expected to spend $1,500 or more dollars on the whatever they're asking for. In this case, it is a building sign for the front of their building. We have got an image for it. I have provided that. This is a $1,500 request.
Oh.
You don't have it? Okay.
You showed it to us before the meeting.
You're welcome to, I'll pass it amongst you as soon as I'm done here. So it's a building sign for the front, estimated amount of expenditures.
You can start on this side, since I don't think they were here.
Is $4,000. So, this is gonna be money, in my opinion, and y'all talk about it and vote, but, my recommendation is you approve, simply because it is such good, reinforcement of our merchants downtown. And so, it will be signage. On her quote, she has a backlit LED sign or not. The vendor gave her those two choices.
Can I ask for which one she's?
You may.
Which one are you leaning towards?
I'm going for
Would you-
The non-LED?
It's in the back, oh.
Here you are.
Yes, I'm going for the non-LED one, yeah. I don't wanna have to worry if the light goes out.
Oh, good, good point, good point.
Yes, yeah.
Very good.
However, LED lasts a long, it'll outlast your life
I'm-
probably.
I know, I know.
But you just don't wanna do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, very good.
No, she didn't have one.
Oh,
I
okay.
gave
We
you
keep
one.
looking for one, so, okay.
Proposed sign, we have a picture of the building front.
Yeah, but we didn't have a
But
picture
not
of
the
proposed
actual
sign.
picture of the sign.
Monica's gonna save the day here.
Well, while they're looking for that, and to keep us on track, does anyone have any other questions or discussion about this application?
Sorry, the only question I have is, I know that the city is going through some issues with signage.
This does not fall under that.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I checked into that before I brought this to you. Thank you, Monica. She did provide that to me. I have it. It
The
just-
part that says the beer and wine garden will be hollowed out too, so you'll see the building.
Oh. It's gonna be very pretty.
So the white portion will be gone,
So the white portion will be there, but the black won't, so, because the building's black, so yeah, you'll see the black building. Very cool. Very excited. I know, it's gonna be super cute. Kinda like the logo is, yes. Yes. Like stencil. But it'll be metal, so it's like or like, it's, I don't know if it's metal or like a fiberglass material, but it'll pop out. So the signage that is on 21 Edge, so it's the same sign company. So they're using the same materials as what they did for 21 Edge.
It's gonna be pretty. The pictures I have are very pretty.
Across the bar.
Across from the barber shop.
Yep. Do y'all have any more questions for Monica?
I just wanna see the picture.
Yeah.
I'm just nosy like that.
It's gonna be really pretty. It's gonna have a 3D effect with the black building and the white signage. It's very, very pretty. The mock-ups are really pretty. So, street preaches, and that is clearly identify your business. Don't put some artistic, fabulous, scroll printed sign that people can't read from any distance. So the way she has this designed fits right in with the Main Street approach to business identification downtown.
I move to approve section 5.3, the facade grant for 5C Custom Creations, doing business as 5C Beer and Wine Garden.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor of passing the grant to 5C, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? If there's motion passed. All right. Yay! We like giving away money that's not technically ours. All right.
I have a question, I'm just curious, do you know when they're gonna have the sign ready?
Can we do an unveiling and take pictures and promote it?
Yeah, so the official date was gonna be the Monday, Tuesday of February, but I was waiting till this, so I might, because he's supposed to have the sign already ready. So I was gonna call him after this and be like, hey, let's put it on as soon as possible, because
Great.
the faster I can get people to know, we're still, the Beer and Wine Garden's been open since May, but it's been a slow process of getting people to realize what we are doing back there, so we just need that signage big time.
Beautiful.
So-
Beautiful.
Do they already have a red ribbon with the chamber of commerce?
No.
So call Christie.
Yeah. Yes.
That would be neat when the
Yeah.
sign goes up and then you have your.
Yes, and then I talked to her a little bit about doing a possible like open house grazing table kind of event, so yeah. We'll probably do something like that, but yeah. Thank you.
Yay, thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to move on to section 6.1, parade and Christmas tree lighting, the feedback and breakdown. So I believe we need a plan.
Okay. Basically what I wanted to talk to y'all about, because I've seen each of you kind of separately, and I haven't seen you all together since we did this event. And the Christmas tree lighting was squarely with us. So I wanted any positive feedback, any constructive feedback, anything that we need to know going into next year to make it a better event for the citizens of Winnsboro year over year. Because I felt like my impression of it, because I had never been before, was pretty much awe. Just all the people that were down there, how happy everybody was, what a cool atmosphere it was. I wanted to know what your impressions of that event were.
Dawn, I have to apologize to you. I went back and I watched the meeting before I was on the board, and at the meeting, the merchants meeting, you mentioned maybe, and I understand now completely, on waiting to start the activities that was on the Bowery. And so all the people go through that are in the parade, they need time to get back. That was a lot of it. You had made that comment in your meeting that it needs to start a little, and I do understand that now, because I was thinking, I walk over there in like 5 minutes, and I thought, why do we need, because it seemed to go on a little long. The whole thing went on long. It was, everybody enjoyed it, but now I understand why, because if you're in the parade, you want to show up for all these festivities that we had. So yes, I believe now we probably need to wait about 15, 20 minutes, maybe make an announcement that everybody to come there.
I'm a little concerned about pushing it out that far. I was panicked thinking it was too long this time, because we had leaned on the band a little bit to continue to play, so that we would have that time filled while everybody filtered back in. After they've marched, I don't really want to request a longer play period for them. I want them to come in, and I want us to break this down, have a postmortem meeting basically, break this down enough to be able to say, we need the band to play 3 songs that'll last 9 minutes, and after that 9 minutes, this is what's going to happen, and after that 7 minutes, this is what's going to happen, because otherwise, I lose my mind. So we need it broken down that granularly to make it seamless. And I feel like we can do that.
Well, I'm thinking too, if, so it's January, we have more time to plan. People are kind of hungry, so what if we talk to more restaurants about doing like sliders or appetizers or something easy to keep people occupied, and maybe take it out and have the police close out, is it Elm that's right behind there?
It is, yeah.
And then, because I know you guys do like the Art and Wine Festival.
Yeah,
and-
Elm was closed.
Yeah, and something similar to that where there's more space for people, because it was pretty full.
Yes.
And so I agree, I don't think we necessarily need to have it be like an hour-long thing.
Right.
But maybe something to tide everyone over.
Well, and the other option is Pine Street Baptist Church set up in that back part of Vic, and I'm just going to call it Vic's Lot, the corner of 11 and 37. They set up in the back of that, and they had chili, and they had a Mexican wonderful hot fruit beverage back there, and they also had a little bit of hot chocolate, not much. What I will tell y'all is we sold 300 cups, we sponsored through Honor Coffee, 300 cups of hot chocolate. We paid $1, charged $1, Jonathan charged $1 in 25 minutes. So-
He charged $2.
He charged $1. I paid $1, and he charged $1. So the public paid $1 for every cup of hot chocolate, and I wanted it to be available to everyone. And if you start going $2, $3, $4 a cup, people aren't going to buy it. Not everybody can do that. And so $1 was not a heavy lift, and that's where we settled. He has told me if we tap him again next year to do that, he will be bringing his coffee trailer and setting it up where he can make an endless supply. And then he would just bill us after for $1 a cup. And so, I feel like we're in partnership with the citizenry that way, because they're paying half, we're paying half. But even though it wasn't as cold as it's been in years past, there was still the demand. And that set me back a little bit. I didn't expect it to go that quickly, because we had done 200 last year. I increased it to 300, had a moment of panic about increasing it to 300, but evidently that wasn't enough. Thank you. According to my Placer AI geofencing that I've done, 2,600 people were along the parade route, and 590 people were on the Bowery for the tree lighting. We were shoulder to shoulder, ladies and gentlemen, is what I'll tell you. It was an excellent turnout. It was an excellent turnout. I think this is a good place for us to shine.
Something to consider, because you also, next year's going to be even more exciting because of the.
We're going to be more organized. We've got it figured out, right?
There's more of it, more ramp up time,
Yeah.
but also, is it going to be the same, it's not the same night as the train coming through?
No, it's not.
Different
No,
night.
it's not. And I am working on that. I'm glad you brought that up. Canadian Pacific, Kansas City Southern. So Kansas City Southern was acquired by Canadian Pacific. They do the Christmas train across the United States. It caused all kinds of panic. But I started posting the fact that that train was going to come through here. Not stop, come through here. And I made 3 posts about that, is all I did. Pictures, video, that sort of thing. That's it. We had, according to our geofencing software, we had 475 people with cell phones along the train track, waiting for them to come through. It was the most fun. And of all the cheering and carrying on, as that train, 27 seconds, the train was here with us.
It did go by fast.
Yes, they were cooking, because they had to get to Sulphur Springs for the concert. So what the train does is, if you are selected, it comes to your town all lit up like it was. One of the boxcars drops aside. There's a band completely set up. They've got contracts with named talent, and it's kind of luck of the draw who plays. But they do a 30-minute concert in exchange for the people attending the concert bringing food for the food pantry. So they would bring food. It would all go to the Winnsboro food pantry. So it all stays local. I am badgering them to get them to select us. we're on their route. Why wouldn't you? You know? And
Have they done Winnsboro before?
in, I believe, 2015 or 2014, somewhere in that 14, 15, 16, they did. But at the time, they were not owned by by Canadian Pacific, and there was not a concert. They
I
simply,
remember they stopped the
Came
train
off.
and then we got to get on it and
Yeah.
look around and have hot
Exactly.
chocolate. And
yeah. So it was just a little bit different format, but I'm really working hard already to get us as one of the stops.
I have a question kind of going with, if we have a lot more people, like this year, the way that the stage was set up with the Christmas tree, everybody between the Christmas tree and 11
Uh-huh.
couldn't really
Hear or
hear
see.
what's going
Mhm.
on. Is there a plan next year for maybe a different stage placement or a different tree placement?
You know,
or-
that's going to be a conversation that probably happens with city leadership, is what I would say. The recommendation I am going to make is that we move the tree further south, down toward the water feature.
Or on the water feature?
Well, the tree, there's a place where it's put in the street. So I
Right.
don't know,
It's anchored into the.
it's anchored into the street. So I don't think
So we may be out of luck.
realistically,
Yeah.
moving the tree
He's not going to go.
is, at my advice,
Yeah.
would just look into a better sound system. And that would be
Well,
the easiest.
the sound system was not ours.
It was the-
I will
the
say that.
people. We needed
That-
more room for more
In
Yeah,
people.
that was our MC. That was his sound system. That was not our sound system this year.
So maybe we need a committee to just do Christmas.
Yeah. So,
Love it.
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
Or put the stage closer to Elm,
That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
and then the tree, everybody could see that tree.
Yeah,
could
you
see
can't
that
miss it.
tree. Yeah, and so
I
everybody
say
look
put
at the tree.
Put the stage on Elm Street right there, where the band was standing.
Okay.
Put the
Yes.
stage
Put the
there,
stage there.
And then everybody can filter south.
Well, and there's all kinds of conversation that
I
will
like
happen
that.
in these Christmas committees because, thank you, because then we ask the question, do we hire a band to play and not have the high school band circle back and have to play after they've marched all the way from the high school? I mean, there's all kinds of conversations that need to take place. I feel like we put this together and spun it up pretty quickly.
I think we did well with
I
our
did
new
too.
committees and new group.
Yeah.
We did
And
pretty good.
people who aren't used to working together.
Right.
Yes.
If you think we're going to have a year of working together,
Yes.
by the time we get to that, we're going to be in shape. We should have this completely planned out and ready to go in September.
And on that note, I hate
Yes.
to be a bearer
Keep
of a
moving.
timeline.
Please, keep
but
moving.
we must move on.
Yes.
And we will task the committees to start thinking about Christmas, and we thank you for all the information and all the gathering and questions that we have for that.
And I would also recommend that we possibly just table 6-2 as part of that same discussion
Correct.
in the interest of time.
And possibly 6-3.
Okay. Is everybody good with that?
I think we need to start talking Bloom and
Yeah.
what's coming up
Yes.
immediately on us.
So we've got Oakley Mansion coming, as you said, 15th to the 17th. And then we've got the concert.
Correct.
So please field questions, comments.
All right, so with these events, we do have the beautiful exhibit for Oakley Mansion coming up, and I'm sure she will need some volunteer opportunities, but we need to get out as much as we can for that. And then we also have our big concert coming up on the 20th. I know you said something about Bloom. That is coming up in April. We can discuss that later. That will come up. Bloom is 11th through the 25th of April, and that can come up at a later time. So right now, do we need any other discussion? I know we do need some volunteers to help run this. I'm sorry, someone gave a suggestion to help us with the parking. Who was that? Lovely. Was that you? Oh, yes. About asking the Lions Club, and I think that's a wonderful idea to ask those volunteers to run that.
The more community we can pull into this event, the more buy-in we're gonna get.
Beautiful, and I think so
So
too.
I'm all for pairing with Rotary or Lions or Hawks or whomever, for additional help.
Yes, and I think that would be great, but we do, need some help there with the front ticketing. We need a hostess with the mostest to, help with the stars and to help with all that, so, yes, please.
All right.
This is where we get serious. I need one of you to tell me you'll take care of the band, whatever they need. To be there, basically, to, if they need additional water in the green room, when we're gonna have some food there for them. Making sure that that gets there, making sure that it looks the way you want it to look, and you want to represent Winnsboro. I would like a board member to be the person that does that. We can volunteer out everything else. But it's really important that the reputation of Winnsboro and the way we handle the artists that we bring in is positive. And I'm completely comfortable and confident that if it's any of you folks sitting here, we'll be in fine shape. How do y'all feel about that?
I can schmooze with the best of them.
Madam Chair, would you care to be our representative with the talent that we have coming in?
I will manage the green room with
Thank you.
the utmost dignity.
Thank you.
Yes.
We're gonna need, I would like volunteers from the board as well for taking tickets at the door and scanning people in.
I'm
Jennifer.
experienced with
You are indeed.
reading and doing it upright.
Thank you. So Jennifer will need a second.
I'll be the additional helper to
Okay.
support the hostess.
Very good.
Oh, thank you.
We're gonna need someone to coordinate. I need a couple of people in the parking lot because the people who buy tables are gonna get basically VIP parking.
Well, and we hope to get our Lions Club.
Right. So can you help with that, please?
I'll be happy to.
And have people out there. Well, you're gonna have police out there as well. I have hired 8 law enforcement officers to be at this event. City code says where alcohol is present, you must have 1 police officer for every 50 attendees. We're estimating 400. So I have talked to the chief. We will have 8 law enforcement officers from Wood County, Winnsboro, and Franklin County. So we'll have enough police there. So I just wanted y'all to be comfortable with the security that's gonna be there, since we're serving alcohol.
And we should just vote Manuel into a certain position because
That's
he's
what I'm
not
saying.
here, so
Yep.
therefore he's just,
When you're unable to come, you get the job that is assigned. Yeah.
Volunteer.
it's after library hours, that should not be a problem.
I do have to brag on our city's public works. I met with our public works director. We walked the Civic Center today. And he has said that we can access one of his employees during this concert in case anything is wrong.
Beautiful.
Right?
Yes.
Because I envision like the ice machine running over or a water line breaking or, so all of those things are going through my very sick mind. And Skip has assured me that we will have someone representing his department there with us.
Beautiful.
And so that was a very kind gesture.
Are we going to have additional restrooms available that night, like porta potties?
Oh, tell me what you think.
400 people serving beer. How many
Two.
restrooms do you have?
2.
Then you need more.
Well,
That's
but
not
there's,
enough.
there's 3 stalls.
There's 3 stalls in each.
Isn't there a separate building out there too?
Across the parking lot, there is a separate building, and we also have the pool has showers and restrooms. I'd rather not open that. I'd rather open the ones across and the ones inside. Now, depending on weather, do we need to bring in some porta potties and put them outside what I call the back door? That's the side that's on the same side as the animal shelter. Would you recommend bringing in porta potties for that? We've got a really good relationship with A1.
I mean, you don't really want
and we
those
can do
close anyway.
No,
No, you
There's no
don't.
room to buy.
they kind of crash the vibe. They do.
I have no idea the cost of renting one of those porta potty trailers, but if we're trying to have a certain experience,
Right.
so the ones that are outside, the brick ones, personally, I think it's too far for
Okay.
people to go and use.
In the dark?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it is going to be dark.
And drinking, and they're drinking.
Well, and,
Yeah.
yeah. And then they can't take their alcohol over there.
Yeah,
So-
so I think you're opening up a can of worms with that, honestly, because we're talking about having a beer garden, where they can go out and smoke and drink
and sit outside.
And it's gonna be
In
maybe
February.
in a controlled atmosphere, so that now you're gonna have an atmosphere where it's
Doesn't
not
have to be
controlled.
controlled.
Oh,
I've done further research.
okay.
Yeah.
So they can step outside and smoke with their beer, as long as they stay within a certain parameter of the building. We are gonna have at least 2 police officers outside. We're gonna have 2 in the back where the money's changing hands with beer and wine and soft drinks. And then we're gonna have 4 walking around in the crowd. We're gonna be well-staffed. I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
Well, the
So,
question would probably be, does our Public Works team think that the restrooms are sufficient for that kind of crowd over that time period?
I'll defer to you, if you don't mind, Mr. Parker.
Each one's got 3, if it's one's got 3 in it, I don't know what the amount would be. I don't see how you could have one out there just to keep people from stumbling around outside, they're already drinking anyway, if they're outside smoking, they don't wanna, I mean, if you get direct them to that area instead of clogging up and going in, cause the people are gonna be outside smoking, who they are,
Yeah.
so, I mean, I don't see how one would hurt, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
We got a great relationship with that guy.
Yeah.
We do.
If you could get like 1 or 2, and you have your little area right there in the back for those that smoke or that
We'll
want
put it
to
by
be
the trash
outside.
cans, that way
Yeah.
that we can just, hey, it's
Well,
a dumpster smell.
So that might be something for extras just in case.
Okay.
Let me just say this, there is some formula with number of people and number of potties necessary.
Okay.
I'm sure
Yeah.
that they would be able to tell you what that is, and we probably, 6 is probably not enough.
Okay.
You know, I'm just saying for 400 people
inside.
drinking beer and wine and for 3
I just think of the
hours.
concerts that I've been to, like at Dickies Arena and the Convention Center in Fort Worth and Will Rogers. There's always a line at the ladies' restroom, like halfway down the block, and then there's no line in the men's. So,
For the Art and Wine Festival, they used 2 porta potties outside over a 2-day event, a day and a half, and they were half full. And that was, what we decide, 3,600 people were there. So,
Living in the age of AI, it's telling us 1 toilet per 30 to 35 people, so there's your cleaning numbers.
6
Yeah.
to
It's 100, 200, so we're halfway there.
we're halfway there.
Well, but.
So if we put 2 porta potties outside, I think we'd be in good shape. And frankly, y'all, they're not that expensive. 100 and a quarter for an event like this. About 100 and a quarter. Drop off and pick up.
throw in the hand washer at the same time,
Yeah.
please.
Hand wash station.
Well,
One
I
per 4
attended,
to 6 toilets.
I attended the purse bingo, which was full of ladies.
Oh my gosh.
And we didn't
Yes.
have porta potties, and we made, I mean.
We did. It was fine.
Yes.
It's absolutely fine.
It was
Were
full
you
of it.
drinking beer?
Yeah, that's it.
No, but they were drinking everything else, I think.
And it's 5 after 5.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's plow through.
Okay,
I- Oh, sorry,
Yes.
I just have one cleanup. Are we volunteering to do that? Are we hiring somebody to do that? Are we asking somebody to volunteer to do that? Because I know with the Chamber of Commerce, we've used Mercy's Mansion before, and those ladies are excellent. And so I don't know if that's something that.
I didn't know that was possible.
into,
Well,
or-
they may not, since you're going to have alcohol there.
Oh, I didn't think that.
They may not.
Okay.
You can always call.
We can
and
ask.
That's right.
But
Okay.
if not, then we're probably gonna have to. have
Let me
cleanup
explore
committee.
that and see about getting us some help with that. Event's over at 11. And, so, yeah, let me check into that for you.
I gotta be able to stay up till 11.
I
bedtime's
understand.
at 9,
Yeah, if y'all see me asleep in the corner.
and I'm supposed to schmooze all night. I got to find me some energy drinks. All right, so moving on to the volunteer opportunities. Are there any other volunteer opportunities we need to discuss?
Those were the ones.
Those were the ones, okay. All right, so we're going to move on just to the general discussion. The transformation strategy, we wanted to do work on this, but we also talked about doing a work session
Correct.
with this. And so with the time, is this something that you want to discuss now, or do you want to go over?
What I'll just tell you is where we are, and that is I've met with almost all of you and discussed this, and we've kind of taken it apart a little bit. And Carol even offered me like corrections in red, which I love. And it worked really well. But what I would say is I've taken all of the input that y'all have given me, I have synthesized it, and it appears in the current document. So any input that you've given appears in the current document. If you think it needs major change, we can have a work session. If it needs mild tweaks, we can do that electronically. I don't want to tie you up unnecessarily. That's always my concern.
I just, so Carol and I aren't on any of, so if
That's an
if
error on
somebody
my
feels-
part. I saw that.
No, I was just gonna say, if somebody, you know, because I know quite a few of you are on like 3 or 4 or 5, so both of us would be happy to
Plug in.
step in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take any of mine that you would like.
Well, Dawn, she did say that was an error.
Yeah. It was an error on my part.
So Dawn has to be in there somewhere.
Yeah, careful, let me send out the amended version.
Very good.
So if y'all are comfortable doing that electronically, I feel like that would be more efficient,
Perfect.
with so many of us working too.
Perfect. And I like the corrections that you've done so far.
Okay, thank you.
On that. That's great. Okay, so we will get that electronically. Discussion to address a possible need. Nope, we don't need that. So we discussed that as well. All right, so real quick, do we have any new business that we want to just touch on today? Did you have something that you wanted to?
Oh, with so many events coming up, I just thought it would be neat if we put together like a calendar of events so that we know ahead of time, so that we're planning months in advance and not just like a month in advance.
That's what this is supposed to be. Our online strategy has some things on it, but you're right, it doesn't have very specific events.
That's right. So,
Maybe we could add
as soon
that.
as I can get the ticketing website link up for this concert, you will receive a spreadsheet of everything that is in the pipeline for 2026.
Awesome.
And then we can decide if there's some calendaring system that we would like to engage with to make like a single source of truth for everybody in Winnsboro.
I know this has been a discussion in many other past meetings, to put a Winnsboro calendar, that has all the events. So
That's right.
we can make sure that that's on next month's agenda.
And we kind of rely on the online guide, has a good calendar.
It really
Yes.
does.
As well,
Yes, it's
for
so
things that we might not catch.
maybe we should, work towards that.
I like what, I go to the merchants meeting and Carolyn provides us with, here's January, February, March, it's everything that she knows of that's
Yeah.
happening. So
I provide you every event that I know of every quarter at the merchants meetings. So but we need to really synthesize a full year.
Further out ahead, like planning Christmas.
Yeah,
Or specifically July 4th.
precisely, especially if we're gonna try to pull off a parade and everything else.
Okay, very good.
But then I don't know if we want to mention this, but we're supposed to turn in our quarterly volunteer hours for volunteer opportunities.
Volunteer opportunities, so if you could get those for Carolyn for January.
Yeah.
for January.
And really and truly, if you want to submit them monthly, that's great.
Okay.
I have to have them quarterly, have to.
Very good. All right, any other new business? If not, thank you all. I'm going to adjourn. Oh, I'm sorry, you were pressing, I didn't know. We're going to adjourn the meeting at 5:10, and we will see all of you next time. Thank you.